recipes for technical trading success in Cook's Kitchen.
Welcome back to Cook's Kitchen. Today we're going to do a chart dive. We're going to look at a lot of things. If you see my screen here, my fidelity charts, I've got the Zacks index. I've got IGV, which is software. I've got IBB, Biotech, and XLY, consumer discretionary. We're just going to look at those areas because that's where the action is, and they tell us a lot. For an idea of where we're not going to look, here's the sector spiders, a 3-month view, and look at where the blood is in the market. Obviously, energy, but I want to focus on financials, down 31.6% over 3 months, and industrials down 29%. What's going on there? Well, this chart will give you an idea. Here's something interesting I found yesterday on FinTwit. Industrials plus financials relative to the S&P 500. I mean, back to 2008 catastrophe levels. And so this is an area where if you're a value stock picker, you're looking at financials, you're looking at industrials, but that's not what we're looking at today. We're in the middle of a pullback now, and we want to see where this goes. So let's talk semiconductors first. You've got to love the strength here. And it's like software. I'm going to say software is really the strongest part of the market. So that's why Microsoft, Apple, which is a hardware company, but the dominant hardware company, Facebook, Google, Amazon. Those titans who have not seen their earnings power erode during the coronavirus crisis are doing well, but lots of other software doing good too, and the chips doing great too. We want to look to be a buyer of certain chip companies on the pullback. Let's take a look at one we own already, and that's Nvidia. So here's Nvidia making new all-time highs on Tuesday above 325. Tried to get up there again today. I told my people, maybe you want to take some profits up there. But what are we headed into? Tomorrow is GTC. GTC is the GPU tech conference. So, everybody, Wall Street has been raising their price targets on Nvidia because they felt left behind. So you saw, average street price target went from 300 up to, let's say 330. Because a lot of banks felt left behind. This thing could pop to new highs after GTC, after Jensen tells us something good. I'll just give you a shot here. Let's see, what time is this at? So 6 a.m. Pacific. If you're up on the West Coast, tune in. Jensen Huang, the man, is going to give us the goods on, And he's always got surprises, right? I mean, there is always something cooking. So whether it's going to be with autonomous driving or gaming or data centers and, supercomputing and AI stuff, machine learning, deep learning, Jensen's going to bring it tomorrow morning. So depending on what we hear, we could see new highs again. So I'm holding on to Nvidia. We're up 50% in it, and I'm just keeping it. All right, let's get back to the charts here. All right, we will bring this down, take a look at some software. Okay, so here's IGV is the market cap weighted software ETF. So obviously Microsoft dominates this, Salesforce, Adobe. Let's take a look at Salesforce. Everything I'm looking at right now, I'm looking for pullbacks. So I'm going to show you semiconductors. I'm going to show you software. I'm going to show you biotech. In those three areas, I am looking to buy the pullback, and we'll let it come down to us. I don't use a lot of fancy indicators on my charts, as you can tell. I don't even have the oscillators up here. I don't need them right now. I am looking at, a significant pullback, like, Salesforce. You want to be a buyer at 150 if we get there, and I think we will. Let's take a look at Adobe. There's Adobe, a strong leader. I'd love to pick up some Adobe at 320 on this gap fill. Those are the kinds of things you look for. You don't need a lot of indicators right now. on your charts. Alteryx, one of our favorites. Where would I get back in? Look I missed this move, great earnings. Price targets didn't go up that much. A lot of resistance at 130. Did it fill the gap? Yeah, filled this gap. So it did its job there. I'm a buyer at 100 again. Maybe we fill this gap, down to 97, 98. All right, what else do I want to see? Let's look at sort of the financial side of software. PayPal, what a beast. I mean, any attempt we get to fill this gap halfway back, you want to be a buyer of PayPal. I showed you the financials are a disaster. You don't touch JP Morgan, unless you're a value player. Why? Because of Square and PayPal. I've been a big believer in Square, so I want to buy this on a pullback. Maybe if I get some 62 action, then I'm back in there. All right, we're cruising on time here, so I better get to the IBB. Biotech, obviously benefiting from the current crisis. A lot of good things happening here in biotech. Regeneron's up. Guild is finally off its back. And so specifically, my CRISPR stocks are doing well. Love to see that. You're getting a nice chance. Look at CRISPR was up above 64 yesterday. CRISPR Therapeutics, CRSP, back down to 56. This stock is super volatile. It's got to have a beta over 2.5, I would think. I'd be a buyer of it. 45, 50. So you could start scaling in down there. What else do we want to see in biotech? I'm sure there's something juicy that I haven't talked about. I mean, I own Cure. We're doing really good in that. Down big today. Don't like to see that. GBT. These are all getting hit. I'd be a buyer. Come back to the 50-day here on GBT. You want to buy that. Sickle cell, the first FDA-approved sickle cell treatment. Okay, let's talk about what you don't buy. Somebody asked me about Royal Caribbean. So we're looking at consumer discretionary now. Wow, it was $135, and now it's 35. It's so cheap now, right? Wrong. I don't think people are going back to cruising anytime soon. I would not be a buyer of Royal Caribbean here. Maybe under 20. Let it come down. And this is a big bear flag, I think, this consolidation. The chart tells me it's going lower. I don't like the business. I don't think people are going to want to go on floating petri dishes. Somebody asked me about Chipotle. Should we short it here? You know what? It's a rank 5. Estimates. This year's estimates went from like $18 to $7, over a 60% haircut. Obviously, a lot of that gets priced in. The stock makes new highs. But next year's estimates went from like 23 to 17. That's a 25% haircut. That's why it's a rank 5. Yeah, I would short Chipotle here at 900 and see if you can take 10% out of it. All right, my timer went off. I usually got to cut these short at about 8 minutes. One more stock I want to look at. Somebody asked me about CDLX. This is a little technology player, a payments player that I missed. Cardlytics. They obviously do data analysis for credit card payments, that sort of thing, I believe. Really had a nice, look at this base building here. I like this. This is a beautiful base here. Come down and test this again at 30 in April, and then the sideways consolidation, get a breakout above 50. It's coming back. I would be a buyer of this at 45. So, all right, I got to wrap it up here. Look for Jensen Huang, GTC in the morning, and we'll talk to you soon.